be satisfied being white.
Who's satisfied being anything?
We're all of us passing for something or other. Aren't we?
Rebecca, good morning.
Good morning.
It's such a thrill to speak to you today about Passing. I'm a big fan of yours, and what a beautiful film. Its message, its presentation. Congratulations on your first film.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This was a passion project for you, but how compelling was the story to become your directorial debut, a story you had to tell?
I think you just said it. It just became this story that I had to tell. I couldn't get it out of my system. I couldn't shake it, And that's really from the first read, which was 13 years ago. I started imagining how the film would be, and then it became not could be. It became, this is absolutely the only way to make this film. And then the screenplay just sort of came spilling out of me in about 10 days, I think, as a result of all of that sort of enthusiasm. I mean, it wasn't the screenplay that ended up getting shot. I obviously revised it, but then it sort of sat in a drawer for a long time because I didn't feel it should be my first film. I was a little intimidated by it. It felt too ambitious and a bit too much and too many huge ideas. And, then 7 years went by and I tried other things. And then I went back to it and thought, actually, if you're going to make a film, you might as well make the one. It's so hard to get a film made. You've got to stick with it for so long. The one that you make out the gate should be the one with the biggest ideas and should be the one that you're most passionate about, because how else are you going to stick with it?
Not only that, your first film, shooting it in black and white and monochrome, was that an artistic decision or to underlie the message of the movie as well?
Well, I think both of those things are the same. I mean, there's no or. It's an artistic decision that underlines the themes of the film. I mean, at first blush, it feels like I'm making a very literal decision. This is a black and white world, therefore this is a black and white film. But the truth is, it's actually about your perception of that literalness, all of ours, because, we like to categorize things. Even black and white film, we call it black and white, but it's not black and white. It's gray. It's 1,000 shades of gray. And that's really what the film's about. There is no monolithic idea of blackness or whiteness or femaleness or maleness or gayness or straightness or any of these things.
And I feel the opening shot of the film, it's out of focus and it comes into focus. You're opening our eyes to this situation, to this, because I've never considered this before. So you're kind of just like, all of a sudden it's like, look at this world.
Yes, yeah, it's very well put. Thank you.
Casting the characters of Irene and Claire, tell me about the search for them, because their chemistry depends on the whole film.
Well, it was absolutely imperative for me to have two women that worked. There was only one Irene to one Claire, if you see what I mean. And, I think I went to Ruth first because I had been thinking about her for a long time. I was familiar with her stage work in England. And funnily enough, I sent her the script and I was intending to cast Irene first and then find the Claire in relation to that Irene. But when I sat down with Ruth, she just said to me, I love it and I want to be a part of it. And I'll play whichever character you want me to play, but you have to let me play Claire, which was so exciting. And I thought, well, yes, obviously I do on meeting her. And then Tessa, I was a huge admirer of hers. And I remember spending a day watching everything that I could lay my hands on. And this was something that I'd never seen her do, but I suspected and hoped, and then she far exceeded my hopes or suspicions, that she would be able to do it. It was a fiendishly difficult part, Irene, because you need somebody who has a certain kind of sensual engagement with the world, but that's buried. And it's buried by many, many layers of social performance and a sense of doing the right thing, being the right kind of person. And you also need to see that edifice crumbling over the course of the movie. And that's a difficult thing to portray that she does extraordinarily.
And you captured New York City. It's almost visual poetry. It was just beautiful.
Thank you.
And finally, real quick, they're wrapping me up here, but your first time director. So at Sundance, was that a great experience?
It was thrilling. I mean, it was the just getting to Sundance was thrilling, but it was virtual. So, I didn't get to experience people in cinemas. And then Netflix bought the film out of Sundance and are amazingly sending it into theaters as well as on their platform. And I'm just thrilled that option is open for everybody.
I am too. What a wonderful film. Thank you so much for your time today, Rebecca, and good luck with the film. We'll talk again soon. Thank you.
You.